Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm Lucas Chong, Business Development Manager with Select Property Group. And the topic that we'll be sharing today will be more to how to invest in Birmingham property with just under £240,000. I've also invited guest speaker Kit Ho from Capricorn Financial, a mortgage broker, to have a better insight on mortgage eligibility based on a case scenario. And I hope whether you are new to property, UK property, or if you're an experienced investor, there will be good takeaway from this session today. And looking at our agenda today, we will look at how Singaporean investor can best structure their investments in UK property. So looking into the restrictions, the do's and don'ts, and also touching on the taxes involved if you are considering to enter into the UK property investment market. We'll also go into the UK market and also focusing on the Birmingham market, on why Birmingham is one of the most optimum markets to invest considering today's timing. And we'll go deeper into the best-selling property within Select Property Group's collection for just under Singapore dollars $500,000. And of course, as mentioned earlier, we'll look into mortgage considerations for Singaporean investors. By way of introduction, Select Property Group, we are one of the UK's leading property developer and investment specialists. We specialize in building different kind of asset classes in their best emerging market, ranging from student property to buy-to-let residentials to hotels as well. And something that we are a bit different from traditional developers is that apart from building the property and selling the property, we also help you to manage the property in terms of renting the property, rent collections, and we do have an internal resale department that can help you to resell your property when you wish to exit in the future. So we have been doing that for the past 18 years to our investors worldwide. We are headquartered in Manchester with global offices across Dubai, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and a new satellite office in Malaysia. So we do want to be close to our investors worldwide to assist them in a consistent investment portfolio. And on our track record, we have over 400 global employees with over 13,000 properties delivered or in the pipeline. In terms of rental revenue, we have generated approximately £1.8 million of income delivered to our investors worldwide. And under our portfolio, we do have across over £2.1 billion of property under our portfolio. And without further ado, I believe this would be more relevant to new investors who are exploring or thinking about investing overseas rather than in Singapore. Obviously, with the new cooling measures, it is wise to explore putting your funds overseas. But of course, when investing overseas, one needs to be familiar with the rules and regulation restrictions as well. And today we'll be sharing exactly that. Now, UK has been one of the top choice, the top market for foreign investors to look at, primarily because there is not much restrictions with regards to buying a property in the UK as investment properties. So unlike certain countries, there is no foreign ownership restrictions in the UK. So one can fully own a property. And of course, with reselling as well, it is fairly flexible. In terms of taxes as well, there is no additional stamp duty, ABSD, for UK property, and there is also no seller stamp duty. Now back to the flexibility of owning a property in the UK, one can resell their property anytime before or after completion or TOP in that sense. So there is also no minimal holding period. Coming to that essence, primarily because UK is still very undersupplied of investment properties. So that's why there is no regulations or government jumping into to control the market, which is why it is now a very good time to consider investing in the UK. And many of my clients will also find that with UK property, it does require a relatively low capital requirements compared to buying a property in Singapore. On average, just to share as well, for Birmingham property, we are looking at approximately $500,000 Singapore dollars for a one bedroom, and between 7 to 800,000 Singapore dollars for a two bedroom. And we are looking at a relatively higher return on investment as well as compared to be it property in Singapore or generally property across Southeast Asia. And one of the questions that I do get very often by new investors would be whether UK properties are mortgageable. And the short answer is yes. Buy-to-let residentials are mortgageable. One thing to take note for UK property is that the earliest one can apply for mortgage will be 6 months before the property completion. So this is a point slightly different to the mortgage situation in Singapore. And also in terms of payment schedule as well, just to share with you, for UK property, there is no progressive billing. So typically is a one-time down payment, typically 20 to 30%, and your balance will be due on TOP or on property completion. More importantly, when investing in UK or any overseas property, a fully managed investment will be something very important to investor, which is why Select Property Group, we do offer fully managed investment from managing to renting out, and of course to reselling as well. The purchasing contract can be all done in Singapore without having you needing to fly over to the UK. So this is a very hassle-free investment worth considering. And apart from the process, the restrictions of buying UK property, one of the very important factors to consider would be taxes when it comes to buying a UK property. So what are the primary taxes involved? Now, primarily, these are the three taxes involved when buying a property in the UK. First of all, there is the stamp duty land tax, SDLT. So this is payable on property completion. For UK, the stamp duty is tiered by amount, so it depends very much on the quantum of the property you are looking at. So buying a property in, say, London, Zone 1 and Birmingham would be quite a different stamp duty rate that you are looking at. If we are looking at the price range for Birmingham property or Manchester property, we are looking at an average of 6 to 7% of stamp duty. And this is payable on property completion together with your balance amount. And of course, when you rent out your property, there is a rental income tax. So rental income tax is at 20% of your total income if your income deriving from the UK is within £50,000 per annum. And these are before any allowance deductible. There will be some allowance deductible. So typically the net tax payable will be lower than 20%, but 20% would be a good range here as an estimate for calculation. As well as for capital gain tax, when you sell your property now in the UK, capital gain tax is involved when you sell the property. And this is either at 18% or 28%, depending on your income tax bracket. And this is also before any allowance deductible, stamp duty, sales marketing costs, all this can be deducted before calculating your capital gain tax. So fairly friendly tax system in the UK, no double treaty for Singaporean buyers as well. And looking into why UK property, now when venturing into overseas property, a lot of people will think of why UK property, as it seems to be quite far away from Singapore as well. But a few reasons that has been proven to be a very stable market for UK property. Property in the UK has always been of high national importance, huge impact on national wealth, which is why over the past decades, from the government intention and master plan, you can see that priority are placed very much on property. And even currently, certain regions, they are very undersupplied of investment properties, where we do see that gap and room for growth as you enter early. And with UK property, it has always been showing a very consistent and stable track record. Over the past 20 years, average property prices in the UK has in fact rose by 281% and is continued to grow steadily in years to come. And one of the main, I would say, very important factors as well is the legal framework. So you want to be well protected when investing overseas, and UK has one of the most protective legal framework for both sellers and buyers, and it offers great protection other than compared to many other international property markets. And with the recent pandemic, in the world, we have seen a resilience within the global pandemic. In fact, in year 2020, UK house prices have seen the highest growth in 6 years. This is up by 7.5%, very resilient market compared to a lot of other countries as well. And I do get many questions on the recent, I would say, conflict between Ukraine and Russia as well. Typically this is similar to financial crisis previously. It affects directly the stocks and shares market and perhaps some supply chain, but property market has always been fundamentally based on demand and supply. And more importantly, looking at the government's intention, the master plan and the funds have being put into this master plan. So property market is minimally impacted by these conflicts or even previous financial crises that we have seen. And if we zoom into the UK market, if you're thinking which market would be more worthy to invest in, now this depends very much if it is for your personal use, or if it is purely for investment, or it could be a mix of both for investment first and potentially for your children to live in or to use in the future. But looking from the point of investment purposes at this point, if we look at the projected growth by, I would say, a city here, London, especially zone 1 to 3, have seen a 12.6% forecasted growth in the past 5 years. But similar to the past performance, consistently for the past 5 years, the growth is seen in the northern cities. So primarily we do see higher growth in West Midlands and also in Northwest, which is where Manchester and Birmingham is located at. So West Midlands has a projected of 24% growth compared to UK national average of 21.1%. And the reason behind that is really down to the master plan of Northern Powerhouse, measures being taken by the UK government to divert the economy from London to northern cities, where the cities has benefited largely from these measures and fundings. And on the latest updates as well, this is the data from 29th of March 2022 on UK house price index based on Zoopla on a more general scale. We do see a 8.1% growth in price growth for UK house, and of course 65% increase in demand for UK homes. So what this means is that with demand and undersupply, the room for growth is large and worth tapping into. And going back to the master plan, if we take a deeper look into the Northern Powerhouse master plan, and this is the master plan that drives the growth of the northern cities. This specific master plan was announced by the Prime Minister in 2015, David Cameron, with backing from the Chinese President Xi Jinping. And the main objective is to divert the UK economy from London to northern cities. And Manchester, Birmingham are two of the core cities that has been benefiting largely from this master plan, not just property, but in other aspects as well, from businesses to transport to research to healthcare. And if we look at the market now, Birmingham is catching up with Manchester comparably 3 to 4 years back. so lower per square feet pricing as well. And it is a city with bright future that is getting a lot of traction from global investors currently. Um, Within Birmingham itself, apart from the Northern Powerhouse Master Plan, the city itself has a big city plan, and this is a 20 years plan with more than £1 billion budget. And it is with the aim to become the world's top 20 super cities by year 2030, to create a well-connected and efficient city center within walking distance. And by 2030, the scope of the city center will expand 10 times. And it is estimated to create 50,000 new jobs and contribute £2.1 billion to the economy every year, with 650 million square meters of new public spaces and 1.5 million square meters of new buildings. And this includes the 5 main areas from this big city plan, primarily West Side, New Street Station, Snow Hill, where our latest development is located close by, East Side, and the Southern Gateway. And apart from that, with the Midland Engine, this is a 25 years national economic development project proposed by Prime Minister David Cameron as well. And it promotes trade, transportation, innovation, financing, and housing, with 30,000 new jobs estimated to be created by year 2030. And apart from businesses as well, as we can see, transport is also one of the main measures taken by the UK government. High Speed 2, I believe most of us here are familiar with the name of High Speed 2. This is a train line connecting between London, stopping by Birmingham and ending in Manchester, that will cut the travel time by half. And this is also very near the new train station that High Speed 2 will stop at in Birmingham, is also very near to our site. And this plan covers more than 10 million people, and specially put forward as a strategic plan on how to cooperate with China. So as you can see on a bigger picture, apart from pushing the economy as well in terms of business innovation, the government is creating more public spaces and office spaces primarily. Even now in today's market, we do see many fossil-listed companies moving from London to Birmingham, where population growth is now estimated 3 times higher in Birmingham compared to UK national average. And a good prospect to come in the future. So that contributes to a very active rental market for investment properties. And with the Midlands World Gateway project, it is estimated that more than £500 million will be invested in the expansion of Birmingham Airport itself. By 2033, the annual passenger throughout of the airport will increase to 18 million people, 34,000 new jobs created, and airports can bring 42% economic growth to Midlands, so improving the connectivity of the city as well as the economic growth. And as we mentioned briefly earlier with the High Speed 2, this is a train line station, with the first phase completing in 2026 from London to Birmingham, and second phase completing in year 2033, ending in Manchester, So looking at the travel time currently in the green charts, this is the full time, the estimated timing to travel when High Speed 2 is completed. Specifically, if we look at Manchester, for example, it takes about 127 minutes. And with the High Speed 2 coming up, will reduce to 67%, 67 minutes, so reducing by almost half in terms of travel time. So increasing connectivity from London to the northern cities. And High Speed 2 will be stopping at the Birmingham Curzon Street station, which is close by to our new site. And I would like to share with you also on the more specific master plan to the side of our development, Affinity Living Lancaster Walk. It would be the Snow Hill master plan. Now, the Snow Hill area is a financial district, which is also the main financial district in Birmingham. So similar to, I would say, Shenton Way or Raffles Place. And these are where the main offices are located at, main office buildings, where the big fours, the banks are located at. And the Birmingham Council had a master plan of the Snow Hill master plan within this area. Our development is located 7 minutes walking distance away from the Snow Hill district. Now, the Snow Hill is a home to some of the Birmingham's most valuable assets. It is a hugely important area of city with great potential and has created the area's key asset and drive Birmingham growth and regeneration activity. Now, the Snow Hill Master Plan itself is a 20 years plan, including a £50 million investment into the Snow Hill train station. And looking at what does the master plan includes, now the Snow Hill station itself is a £5 million investment to create a world-class transport hub similar to Birmingham New Street Station. Birmingham New Street Station is the current main station within Birmingham, and Snow Hill Station is just about within 2 stations away. And it is also to improve all public transport, public rail, and walking and cycling routes. There is also a vision for the area transforming the streets and spaces. Now, £9.9 million is already committed to this scheme, the Snow Hill Master Plan, to create a thriving community, including proposals for how the historic environment can be utilized. So this in terms means that funds are being put in to expand the area. More office spaces will be created and also public spaces to be created in this area to enhance productivity as well as higher employment rate. Also, of course, with employment, we're looking at creation of new jobs. It is anticipated that through the master plan, an additional 200,000 square meters of new office floor space, 4,000 new residential units, and 10,000 jobs will be created. So the benefit of investing in a property close to an area, of course, that is growing and that is attracting more employments. This impacts directly to the rental demand, to the property growth of your development. And sharing briefly on the location for our new launch, Affinity Living Lancaster Wharf. This is located on Prinsep Street, so just 7 or 8 minutes walking distance from the Snow Hill district, located by the canal or by the river. Very strategic location. We spent about close to a year to secure the site here. And before going into the development details, let's take a look at the Birmingham market updates. As we've seen following the Northern Powerhouse Master Plan, a lot of companies have actually moved into Birmingham. One of the main companies worth to mention would be the new HSBC headquarters, which opened in Birmingham in 2018. And Goldman Sachs is also opening up their office in Birmingham, and this is located in Como Road, which is 7 minutes walking distance to our site. And with signal booms for Birmingham, last year was a record year for residential land and investment transactions, the highest transactions comparatively to other regions. So why invest in Birmingham property? I believe the points earlier does cover the sentiments of the UK market and Birmingham market, which is worthwhile to consider entering for that potential growth. Between 2002 and 2015 as well, the population rate of Birmingham city centre has reached 163%, a very fast growth there, which is the second fastest growth rate in the UK. So northern cities generally is still very undersupplied of property because of this high population growth, and the supply of property is still not catching up with the demand in these cities. So approximately 10,000 new people has flooded into Birmingham every year. Birmingham, which has a 60% lower cost of living compared to London, has become the most beloved migration cities for Londoners. More and more young people and families live in Birmingham but work in London. And apart from that as well, for companies opening a new headquarter or a branch office in Birmingham, these people are also moving from London to be stationed in Birmingham, where they are looking to rent in city centre Birmingham long term. And from 2011 to 2031, Birmingham needs at least 89,000 homes Again, we see the gap in terms of demand and supply in this sense. And however, data shows that Birmingham still needs to add 2,500 new homes each year to meet the long-standing imbalance between supply and demand. Yeah. So when entering into property investment, it is always wise to enter, when there's a gap between demand and supply. Properties in very established cities like Singapore, Hong Kong, and London, oftentimes pricing has reached the ceiling with relatively lower capital gain potential. So for Manchester, Birmingham, northern cities, if you're aiming for capital gain at the same time, higher rental yield, this will be the place worth looking into. And under the long-term imbalance between the demand and supply, properties prices in Birmingham continue to rise. Pricing-wise, the land available for development in Birmingham is scarce and expensive, especially in the right area, in the Zone 1 area. The average development land price has risen from £12,000 to £16,000 per unit in 2013 to £35,000 in 2018. So that's a huge growth there, as we can see from the chart here as well. Now, as the number of developments project decreases year by year, it will further aggravate the shortage of residential rentals in the city centre. And without further ado, I'd like to share with you on our new launch, Affinity Living Lancaster Wolf, located in central Birmingham. And this is the final standards of purpose-built rental living to UK's second city. And this is also under our brand of Affinity Living Residences. Now, under the Affinity Living brand, we do currently have 3 developments that is already completed, up and running and rented, and these are located in Manchester. And Affinity Living Lancaster will be our 4th Affinity Living branded residences that we're bringing to Birmingham, scheduled to complete in Q2 2024. And looking at the past Affinity Living branded residence, we first have our Affinity Living Riverside, located in central Manchester. This is open in January 2020. Very well tenanted, located just beside the Lowry Hotel. Affinity Living Embankment West, for those who have purchased a unit there, this was completed recently in July 2021, renting very well as well. Very strategic location, just 2 minutes walking distance to the main shopping district, Harvey Nichols. And Affinity Living Riverview, which is completed in November 2021, is also currently renting upwards of 80%, I believe. With Affinity Living Riverside, it is 100% occupied. I believe the tenants are on their 3rd year renewing of rental currently, and we are achieving an average of £1,250 per month for Affinity Living Riverside. These are more to, I would say, 1 bedrooms. And just to touch on the brand Affinity Living as well, this is a brand we created mainly to target the tenant group. So it comes with all the requirements and design that is suitable for Gen Y tenants to ensure a high rebooking rate as well. So all Affinity Living residences are located in very prime location and very comprehensive facilities such as 24/7 concierge, resident lounge, cinema room, co-working space, cafes as well. And we do hold frequent events so that we create a community within the development to ensure high rebooking rates. First of foremost, always a prime location for the Affinity Living branded residences. Now with Affinity Living Lancaster Wharf, this is located in city centre, Birmingham, just 7 minutes walking distance to the Como Road district, the Snow Hill district, which is the main financial district, and also within 0.8 kilometers to the Snow Hill train station. On the other side, it is close to 2 main universities, which is under the Ruscroft University, Aston University, and Birmingham City University. Both are within 1.2 kilometers away from our site. And this is also 1.2 kilometers away from the Curzon Street train station, which is where the High Speed 2, as we mentioned earlier, will be stopping at. um, 1.2 kilometers to Jewelry Quarter. Now, Jewelry Quarter is also another main district for working professionals, and this is also another area for targeted tenants. But of course, the main targeted tenants will be from Snow Hill District, where the main offices area are located in. And this is also very near walking distance to the Bull Ring and Grand Central. Bull Ring and Grand Central would be the main shopping district. So this is 1.4 kilometers away. So as you can see, the site is close to both the main shopping district, financial district, two main universities, a train station, as well as the new train station where high-speed tour from London will be stopping at. And when these come to completion for the new train station, as well as more companies moving into the financial district, the value and the rentability of your property will benefit largely from it. Another angle to look at the location. Now, Affinity Living Lancaster will be the one in orange, as we can see here. That's the location by the river. Across the road is a large Tesco. On this side, if you can see my cursor, will be where the universities are located at. So we've got Aston University here and Birmingham City University as well. The area in blue will be the main business district, the Central Business District, CBD. So as you walk between, I would say, between 5 to 8 minutes, you reach the Como Road district. So that's the main office district. And then further down, you go to the shopping district, the Bull Ring district, which is right behind there. And of course, we've got the Birmingham City Council just at the corner, a very iconic BT tower, which is also not far away. This is a telecommunication tower, but very iconic landmark in Birmingham. We've got the Birmingham New Street train station within walking distance away as well. So closest train station will be the Snow Hill train station, but also close to the Birmingham New Street station, which is the main station, and also the upcoming Curzon Street train station where the high-speed tour will be stopping at. So Affinity Living Lancaster Wharf on the details. This is located in the very sought after Prinsip Street, Birmingham City Centre. Developer, Select Property Group ourselves. Completion date is in Q2 2024. G level plus 22 levels. 266 apartments from 1 and 2 bedrooms. And this is at a rare leasehold of 999 years. We've got large contemporary living spaces, state-of-the-art gymnasium, rooftop terrace as well, waterfront garden courtyard, residence lounge, TV lounge area, lifeboat lounge, and private working booth available. It's 8 minutes walk to Birmingham Snow Hill train station, 11 minutes walk to Como Road Financial District. And estimated service charge is between £3 to £3.50 per square feet per annum. And later on, I'll share with you the running costs involved to maintain a unit in this development to give a better idea as well. Some of the galleries of how the development would look like. So as you can see, this is with a courtyard facing the river, and on the other side, it is facing the main city center. And on this second picture, we are looking towards the financial district, just 7-8 minutes walking distance away. And this is how the internal would look like. All Affinity Living residences are built to very similar specification. So I'll show you a video on our past Affinity Living residences as well to give an idea of the concept and the internal. And these are actual images of our existing Affinity Living residences in Manchester. As we can see, the TV lounge areas are very popular on Fridays, especially for the residents to hang out. And we've got private working booth, live work lounge, co-working space. And this is also a very rare pet-friendly development where we've got a board for the pet residents living in that development. And internally, very spacious, well-designed space suitable for rental. So we've got 2 beds, typically of the same size bedroom, which is suitable for singles to co-rent or even for couples to rent. 1 bedroom is also very popular for the rental market. This would be a video tour of the Affinity Living Riverside in Manchester that was completed in January 2020. So it's an idea of how it would look like. This would be a good reference to it. And also, just to share as well on a typical floor plan of this development, we have got 2 bedroom units in blue and 1 bedroom units in pink. So some units are facing the middle courtyard and also the canal, and we've got units facing the city center, and also units facing the university area. For those who are keen to find out more, do get in touch and we'll share more information on the development, and we can have recommended units which would be suitable for you. And if we zoom in into a sample unit for 1 bedroom, this is on level 1, unit 05, 549 square feet, and this is at £233,000. Down payment for 1 bedroom is at 30%, so approximately £67,000. So as you can see, this is a very functional layout. As you enter the unit, we've got your open kitchen on your left, straight to your living area. And you've got your 1 bedroom, sizable 1 bedroom with your restroom as well. And if we look into a 2-bedder, this is on level 1407, 673 square feet. This is at £356,000. And down payment for 2 bedrooms at 25%, so approximately £89,000. This is a corner unit, as you can see, also very functional layout for 2 bedroom. 2 same size bedrooms, suitable for singles to co-rent. Good size living area, very bright unit for this one. Higher floor facing the city center. And on a payment plan, typically for UK property, as we mentioned, it is a down payment when you exchange contracts. So typically when you wish to proceed with a unit, we take a deposit of £5,000. And we go into the exchange of contract process with a UK solicitor, and that would take approximately 28 days. Your down payment of 30% for 1 bedroom or 25% for 2 bedroom is then due on exchange of contracts within a month from reservation. Your next payment will then be your balance of either 70% minus your £5,000 deposit paid. So this will be due on property completion in Q2 2024. And here we are looking at the numbers based on a 1 bedroom. So we are taking a unit on level 12, 1206, and as an example. This is a 547 square feet apartment, priced at £254,000. So approximately just less than £500,000 Singapore dollars. Estimated rental is at £1,002 per month. And looking at the running cost to maintain a 1 bedroom here, there are 3 running costs involved. The first will be the management fee. This is for managing the property, handover, renting out the property as well. And this is at 10% plus VAT on rental revenue. And this is handled by our recommended partner. So these fees only chargeable when your unit is rented. If it's for your own stay or when it is vacant, this is not applicable. Your second charge will be ground rent for all UK properties comes with a ground rent. So this is at 0.1% and maximum cap at £500 per year. So this is payable annually. And your third costing will be your maintenance fee. So this is between £3 to £3.50 per square feet payable annually. In this case, we are using £3.50 per square feet per annual for calculation. So looking at a net rental yield of 4.24% after the running costs. And on purchasing cost and payment schedule, this would be the payment, I would say, timeline when purchasing the property. So on reservation, we take a deposit of £5,000 deposit. Your 30% down payment will be due on contract exchange. So this is after signing the contract, and this is payable to your solicitor. And this is at approximately 28 days from reservation. And your additional purchasing cost here will be your legal fee. So this is at £2,000, also payable at this stage. So the three costing of £5,000 deposit, your 30% down payment, and your legal fee will be your initial capital required. The remaining costs will be payable on property completion in Q2 2024. This will be the rate for estimated stamp duty tiered by amount. And it will be estimated at £15,000 for this specific unit. And your balance of 70% minus the £5,000 deposit is also payable on completion. And if you prefer to leverage on mortgage, this can be done as well. And later on, our guest speaker, Kit, will be sharing with you in details on the mortgage sentiments for Singaporeans. And before that, I'd like to invite Kit to share with you more on the mortgage eligibility, and we'll also take into a sample unit to have an idea based on a sample annual income to have an idea of your rental. For those who are keen to speak further with Kit, do feel free to get in touch with her as well.
Hello there, this is Kit from Capricorn Financial. It's my pleasure to share some information about mortgages in the UK and our company with you, and hopefully we can help you in the future. Our company, Capricorn, opened in 2005 and already have 17 years history. It's one of the largest mortgage brokerage in London. And as an international company, we also have offices in Hong Kong and Singapore. So feel free to pay us a visit if you're around and if you're in the UK as well, as we are specialized in financing. For me, myself, I'm working in Capricorn International team. We are specialized and experienced in helping our international clients to apply mortgages, hoping to give them the best and hassle-free mortgages experience. Also, there you see we have private client team which have good relationship with private banking, and commercial team can help with anything in between to facilitate different needs for our clients. Just let us know and we'll give you the best and suitable solution that fits you. Here is a list of some of our lenders that we work with. You will find some familiar names and lenders, but don't worry if you cannot find your familiar lender that you would like to have inquiries, because most of the lender in UK and internationally, we could all get it for you. It's just part of the lenders that we work with. Generally speaking, lending policy and features in the UK is a bit different from Malaysia and in Asia. Different lender will have different criteria such as income requirements, and they will look at personal financial situation as well. And the lender nowadays could borrow up to 75% loan to value available, and the rate is depend on the LTV, and remortgages is also available. For example, if you have one property, you would like to remortgage it to finance the second property that you bought, and also guarantor or third-party mortgages is also available. And usually rental income stress tests will be needed for buy-to-let properties. Now come with the information most of you will be interested in. For buy-to-let, interest rate is about 2.5% to 5%, and the residential mortgages available rate is like about 2%, but it's all depends on that transaction. It's depend on the transaction nature. It's just a rough idea because the rate is changing recently, and lender is going to determine the rate with different factors. And for the fees, the lender arrangement fee is up to 1.5% of loan. And again, it's subject to transaction nature. And usually we will go for maximum loan tenure. And also besides repayment lending, interest-only lending is also available now. And just some extra information, as we could see a trend in company ownership for properties. Not all banks and lenders will lend to companies, and typically they will need companies. They are in the UK and it's limited company, but because we are excel in financing as Capricorn and us, we also do BVI and Singapore companies or trust lending and financing. Just let us know, and then we'll just give you the best option if you come into this situation. Here comes the last part of our presentation, and here is the mortgage application process, how it's gonna work. As you already noticed, mortgage in the UK is very different than in Asia. We are here to help our clients with our experience and good partnership with our lenders to prevent our clients to land on any minefield to jeopardize the whole transaction. We will offer our clients a full assessment we'll ask them about the information, their financial situation, and their position of buying, whether it's like individual or it's company ownership. And we then we will then make the best recommendation to the client. Say we should go to this lender because it offers the highest LTV, or they give us the best rate, or they approve faster. And then we will then seek for AIP, approval in principle, within 24 to 48 hours. It will tell you how much the lender would like to lend you. And if you're happy about the results, we will then go for the full application. We'll submit the application with your supporting documents. As long as we submit the application, lender will then instruct the surveyor to evaluate the property's capital value and rental value. It will take another 6 to 8 weeks until the mortgage offer is out, and the mortgage offer will be valid for 3 to 6 months. Until then, we just need to wait until the property complete. And before the completion date of the property, the solicitor will require further 2 to 3 weeks to draw down the funds. And upon the contract exchange, then you will have the property and the whole mortgage transaction, and the process is like happily and perfectly finished, and our job is done, and you have your home. And I hope you enjoy this presentation. And if you have more inquiries or any questions, feel free to send me an email or just WhatsApp me or call me, because Capricorn offer you a free consultation. We don't charge until we secure you the mortgage offer. And thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Kate. We've come to the end of our webinar today. I hope it is useful for you in terms of UK market, in terms of general UK guidelines, and also in terms of mortgage guidelines. For those who are keen to find out more about purchasing or investing in the UK, or to explore a mortgage, please feel free to get in touch with myself or Kate for respective reasons. And of course, for those who are keen to find out more about our Finished Living Lancaster Wharf new launch development, please also feel free to get in touch. This is my email and my contact number. Thank you once again for joining me today. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.